All right. Welcome, Brickmaniacs. How's it going? Hope all is well. Welcome to another, so I'm glad you're waiting for us, Derpy Tank. I don't even know what that is, to be totally honest. So he asked what bricks or what happened to Bricks of War. That must be before my time, because I've seen that question a couple of times and been meaning to ask it next time I'm down in the design room. But I haven't been a part of that, so I don't know, unfortunately. Sorry. But yeah, so we're doing another little live SitRep here. I've got the Sturm Tiger to show off, so we'll check that out a little bit when we've got some more people joined up. Otherwise, just here to answer questions, talk a little bit more about the World War Brick situation. As you guys know, this weekend is the final weekend that you can purchase those weekend passes and still get the exclusive item that we're thinking is going to be a minifig, but I guess we haven't confirmed that yet, so we're kind of leaving our options open for what we want to do there. What else do I want to go over? So hopefully you guys saw, if you follow our blog, that our stores are also doing mock contests as well. And those are completely social media run and are kind of on a weekly basis or monthly basis, I want to say. So make sure to check that out at our blog. Otherwise, for our mock contest, the Brickmania TV mock contest, we are down to our finalists, but don't worry if you didn't get an email yet. We haven't reached out to everyone. So we are in that voting process. We will probably announce the winner and then the runner-up on the SitRep, and then the rest we'll just do in a social media post, but we will contact everybody who is going to be receiving a prize. If you remember, we're going to do the IS2 as the main prize. The next prize is going to be a mini kit of some sort. I think we'll have the mutt in stock, so it'll probably be that. Not 100% sure. We'll see what we get it, and then we'll do some micro mentions, which means you'll get either a Microbrickbattle kit or the book, something like that. So that'll be the situation with the mock contest. I'll run down some more of that stuff coming up here a little bit, but I do have one really exciting announcement. So let's get right to it. Hopefully, if you guys get the email, you saw this already. But on July 3rd, 4th, and 5th, I think those are the dates, or maybe even through the 6th, but the weekend of July 4th, Independence Day weekend, we are going to be doing another 30% off sale in our retail stores exclusively. So you got time to plan for it. Plan ahead to be able to get to a retail store, get somebody you know in the area to a Brickmania retail store. But here's a catch. If you're one of those level 03 or higher plank owners and you have your minifigure and you bring it in to show it off, that is actually a 40% off sale for you because you get the extra 10% in the Brickmania stores. So I was kind of surprised by it too, but I double checked it. It looks like that is going to be the situation there. So if you are a Brickmania plank owner, you can save 40% coming up for this 4th of July weekend. So we'll have some more updates posted on our blog, but go check out the initial post that I wrote for today. It has some details or whatever on there, so make sure to check that out. But yeah, that's crazy. So that's pretty awesome. And then finally, Microbrickbattle.com, we're going to be launching very, very soon. So that is going to have a whole bunch of instructions, scenarios, it'll have a form for you to be able to talk about the game, etc. So make sure to tune into that when we launch it, because it is going to be your one-stop shop for all things Micro Brick Battle, whether you are a seasoned vet looking for more scenarios to play or you're brand new to the game and not even quite sure what it is. But we are super excited for that launch. So make sure to be ready for that. So that's all I'm going to run down here initially. I'll probably do that loop a couple of times here because we'll probably be live for an hour. So stay tuned if you missed that. I will run through it, but otherwise I want to make sure to answer some questions, and I'll try to read them as best I can in the comments here. So let's take a yeah, you know what, let's do that actually. Why not? Let's take a little look at the Sturm Tiger, huh? Look at this beauty. So there's going to be printing on the barrel there. That's why it's solid. But this thing is just massive. What a crazy looking vehicle too. So I was researching this thing, and it was made for urban defense of the German homeland, because they were kind of backpedaling at that point. I think only 16 of them were ever deployed, and not necessarily successfully, unfortunately, because they had some transmission issues and getting to where they're going. But that doesn't change the fact that it is a beastly looking kit and vehicle as well. I think it was a 38 centimeter mortar. Anyways, rockets is what it fired. And if you look at this kit here, it's got a super cool interior, kind of like I'll try to show it off into the camera a little bit. If you can kind of see up in there, it's kind of like the Tiger 131. We've got like a radio room, operator, stuff like that. And then these are your rocket holsters. Got a little loading crane, some opening stuff. So this is just the prototype. There's going to be plenty of printed elements, etc. on this bad boy. So you will be able to check that out soon on its release date. We'll also take a closer look in the SitRep dive into some of the internal components, etc. So we'll keep showing that off a little bit more throughout it as more people join in on what's going on. Mentioning the M40. So John R says, will you mention the M40? Yeah, we actually are planning on shooting the designer's desk for that, I think tomorrow. And then that, since it's not one that we have to wait for approval from a licensor, we should be able to put that up as soon as it is edited. So we will get to that. KD asks, that's sick. Who designed that? This is a Dan Siskind model. So he built it, I think, off of a recommendation from years and years ago. Just kind of looking for more of those big frame tanks and trying to dive into some of the unique vehicles too, because I mean, look at this thing. This does not look like anything that existed at its time. So pretty crazy looking tank. Certainly packed quite a punch. Kind of one of those things. The story of all German armor is, man, if that had showed up earlier in the war, it could have been a real difference maker. So that's probably the same story with the Sturm Tiger here. So we will continue with that. All right. So let's dive into this a little. Is there going to be, so Brick Danger asks, is there going to be an M4 Sherman for 2020? So that is based on track links right now. So we actually had one scheduled to go into pre-order, I want to say at the end of this month, but we're still not certain on the track link situation, which I know has been literally our problem for going on a year now. So we are diligently working to try to get that fixed. And as soon as we know that we're going to get them, then we will start to be able to pre-order those kits. But we don't want to put out pre-orders for anything hoping that the kits show, or hoping that the track links show up. And then if they don't, we're on the hook for those kits, and that's a bad situation for us to be in, because then the customers aren't happy. We're not happy because we're not able to make you guys happy. So we're trying to avoid those situations, do what we can right now, put into production what we know we can get done. And then from that point on, we will, hopefully be able to build more stuff with track links once they're back. And then hopefully have some back online too, so that all of you guys who've been working from the book, which we absolutely love to see, we want to get you guys those track links that you can use, so you don't have to do what Simon had to do and buy some red ones that you paint. Although not a bad idea for the current situation. So props to you. When is the designer's desk video for the AC-130 coming out? Troy, sorry, I don't know your last name, Troy, but so Troy asked when the designer's desk for the AC-130 video is coming out. It will come out when we have all the printed figures, all of the printed elements, all the stickers, etc. So once the model is complete, that is when we will be able to first shoot it. Then we have to edit it, etc. So that will probably be much closer to its actual release date that we're actually able to do that. But we will make sure that it gets done. They'll all get designer's desk videos eventually. We just have to get to them because we're so backlogged after quarantine because we couldn't be together. And we tried to mess with some digital stuff, but it just wasn't what we wanted to do. So we have decided that we're just going to try to shoot them when we can now that we're back here. So the Pro Gamer asks, can you make more modern minifigs from around the world? So I think the issue with new modern minifigs right now is that we can't even keep the ones we currently produce in stock. And the supply available of minifig parts from torsos to feet to hands to everything is very limited right now. We're not able to purchase in the quantities that we want to be able to satisfy the demand for certain things. So especially with the new printers and stuff that we're trying to get up and running. We hope to be able to do some of that stuff in the future, but for now it is probably not going to be realistic. So looks like we have some spammers going on here. I'm gonna block some people here so we can get done. Any new Quarantine Chronicles coming? Asked Brick Danger. Probably not, because we're out of quarantine. So now that we're back here, we're just calling them SitReps. As you guys know, because of the social distancing and because of how busy we've been around here, I've been kind of the driving force recently behind the SitReps anyways, and then the designer's desk are kind of your chances to see other people. That will probably continue to be that way for the foreseeable future until we can get in a situation where we're more comfortable being back together. So that would be nice. Sorry, I got Nugget here with me, so she's barking at the people at the door. Nugs. Go pet her and quiet her down. Hey, I'm gonna have a surprise visit from Landon here, since he came in to visit the dog. So let's get to another question here real quick. So Luke's asking, will the Abrams come back? Yes, the Abrams will come back. That is one of those kits that we plan to hopefully restock. Will the F-35C variant be back in stock? I don't know. I think so. I know we have the F-35A on our production schedule, so I don't know if there's actually going to be another run of the C in between those two, because the C wasn't exactly a quick seller when we had it. But I think that we do plan to do that in the future. You guys want to check out a socially distanced Lando?
Hey guys,
You might have to speak.
Are we live right now?
Yeah,
right on. Hey, I got some stickers for this all new Sturm Tiger.
Oh, nice! Look at that.
Yeah, it should be good.
So we were showing off the prototype a little bit earlier, checking it out, letting people know about the World War brick stuff and whatnot. So are they pretty much the same wheels then?
Yeah,
that are on there right now.
Yep.
Cool.
I was just gonna see if that works, but I think we're good.
Cool. Yeah, this is a beast of a kit. We were just talking a little bit about the research of this puppy, but I guess only like 16 of them were ever made.
Something like that.
But it's like the story of all German armor. If it had showed up earlier in the war, could have been a real difference maker.
Right? Yeah, that thing was a beast. Cool. Well, I would love to stay in chat, man, but
yeah, no, it's all good. Thanks for checking in.
Cool. Okay, I'm gonna get back to this.
Yeah, be well. There you go, you lucky brick maniacs. You got a little check-in from the minifig master himself. So let's get back to some other questions here, and then I will do my little spiel again to let people know about some of the stuff that we have going on. So Cats Films asked, will the Leopard 2A7 return? I believe that was a winner of a fan poll that we restocked for a minute. And so I think it has seen its final run. So that will probably be it. Let's see what else we have too. Christian asks, is the IS-2 coming back? I think that one will be set for restock. That should be one we will be able to see eventually. Jared asks, can you make posters? We do make posters. We have posters available in all of our retail locations. So if you want to swing by and pick up some stuff, they usually toss one in. Otherwise, they're available for purchase as well. I think usually actually it's this Fury thing right behind me. If you guys see, I think that's pretty much the poster right there. At least one of them anyways. The poster since I have been here. All right, so Gaming and Lego Creations asks, how does the Brickmania vault work? Do the kits just pop up on the website, or is there another way to get to it? Also, is it an auction, or is it first person who buys it gets it? So yes, it is first come, first serve. It is unbelievably fast because there's only one of each option. There's usually less than 10 items put into the vault at each time. Drops the first Thursday of each month. And so that is how the Brickmania vault works. It is not an auction. It is just simply first come, first serve. Prices are as is. The vault remains open until it's empty. Then we close it down until the next month. Right now, I think we have 3 items still in the vault. So if you want to go check those out, make sure to swing over to brickmania.com. Just click on the BKM vault, and that will take you to that as well. So before we get to some more questions, I'm going to go to my little rundown here one more time. So coming up in July for Independence Day, July 4th, we are going to be running a 30% off in-store sale. And that's at all of our retail locations exclusively, which is super awesome. For those of you who were there for the New Year's Day sale, you know that it was a heck of a good time, a lot of good savings going around. And so we're excited to be able to do that again. Obviously, with some of the regulations put down by our local states, governments, and then city governments as well, we will have to have social distancing active. We are going to have masks required, etc. And then, I think there are store capacity limits as well. So plan ahead, get there when you can, give yourself some time. If it's super busy and you have to wait or whatever, just make sure to plan for that, but it'll be worth it in the savings. And then remember those plank owners, you get that 10% too. So that'll be super awesome. So make sure to swing in and take advantage of that. I don't think that's anything that we've encountered before. So that is pretty awesome. Additionally, mock contest finalists have been selected. We are in the voting process right now. So we are down to the final 10, but do not worry if you didn't get an email, because we haven't emailed the finalists yet. We're only going to email people after we have made the selections. We will announce the winner and the runner-up on our YouTube channel, and then we will post the rest of them online, and then we'll email everyone who's going to be receiving an honorable mention or the actual winning prizes. So we will for sure let you know about that. World War Brick 2020 exclusive item. This is the final weekend for you to be able to purchase those weekend passes for 2021 and get the exclusive item for 2020, because then technically you're a 2020 pass holder. So make sure to take advantage of that if you plan on coming or want to block out that amount of time. This is also the final weekend for you to get a refund if you're already a 2020 pass holder and you want to turn that in. After this, there will not be those. So make sure to take advantage of those. And then Microbrickbattle.com. If you are new to it, if you are a vet at it, if you love Microbrickbattle, if you have no idea what I'm talking about, make sure to check out Microbrickbattle.com, because there's going to be a whole bunch of cool stuff on there. All of it's going to be free to access, instructions, scenarios, even a forum for you guys to talk about cool stuff on. So make sure to stay tuned for that. We'll let you know a little bit more about when they launch. Once again, if you're curious about any of this stuff, sign up for our email, because I put them together and try to include everything I can in there, so that if you scroll through them, you'll be in the know on exactly what's going on at Brickmania. You won't miss anything. So make sure to take advantage of that. Okay, so we'll jump back to some more questions real quick, and then we will show off the Sturm Tiger a little bit more. I accidentally knocked a piece off here, so I'll put it back together. No, so Cotton Lum asked, have you decided what the contest prize is going to be for November? No, we have not. Yeah, no, we haven't yet. We'll take a look at our production schedule, etc., moving forward, and see what would fit something like that. So that'll be cool. These are coming in fast, so I'm trying to read them as quick as I can. JB, can we get a modern German minifig of the month? We have our minifigs of the month planned out pretty decently far, so I would say not this year. Maybe next year. We'll see. Charles asks, will you bring back the Viper helicopter? Yes, the Viper will return for a restock. Do I have it on mine? I don't have it on my little sheet here, so I'm not exactly sure of the exact dates. But yeah, all that license stuff, we want to make sure that before we're done with it and move on to other things, everybody who's gotten or who wants to has a chance to purchase one. So we will do our best to get back on it. And I've also, I know that there's a lot of people asking about the AC-130, if the AC-130 is going to return. That thing is intense when it comes to our production department. It takes a lot. So we will do our best to get that back into production as soon as possible, but bear with us, because we want to make sure that, the people who got it in on the first batch are taken care of. And then we'll move on from there. Crypto Boy asks, can you bring back the T-34? Probably after a redesign. I don't think we'll bring back the older T-34 or the T-34-85 or the model 1914, yeah, whatever, 1943. I think those are all considered retire right now. We'll see if that returns. All right. Oops, slow down here a second. B17 Restock, maybe. So that's another one of those kits that's so iconic. We would have to make sure that we have the proper license for it, which I do not believe we currently have. But once we do, I know Cody is going to want to take another shot at designing that bad boy. So likely, if a B17 is coming back, it will not be a recreation of the older kit, but rather a new one, which I think we all want to see, to be totally honest. So that would be super, super awesome. Let's see what else we got going on here. Okay, yeah, so War Aftermath asks, are there any words on the 2020 Minifigure of the Month restock poll? Yes, the Mogadishu Army Ranger was the winner. So we are going to put that into production the second we have room, which I think is in like 2 weeks or so. So then it should be wrapped up a couple of weeks after that. So look for it in July. Hopefully we'll be able to run that simultaneously with our July Minifigure of the Month, which I would love to tell you what it is, but it's so cool that I think Landon deserves to be able to do that to you guys first. So we will wait for his social media, maybe. We'll see how he decides to do it first. And that's what we'll do. Okay, so we're going to put a pause on the questions real quick, because I know there's some new people here. So let's take a little closer look at the Sturm Tiger. This is a beast. It's basically a giant mortar in a huge chassis. It fired such large projectiles that they had to like beef it up. It was like no other vehicle produced at its time anyways. And unfortunately they weren't able to make very many of them. But the ones that they were look super cool. I think, does the Tank Museum have one? Someone correct me if I'm wrong, but I think maybe the Tank Museum has one. But they are very, very cool looking. You can see like it's got this little loader function here, plenty of opening hatches. And then the coolest thing about it, it's got a super detailed interior, like so detailed that there will be printed elements etc. It comes with a cool minifig as well that we will hopefully have renders of, at least for the pre-order. But this is the prototype version. Landon put some stickers on it. So that looks cool. Looks like 1, 2, 3. Creative. Yeah, love the slopes, love the chassis design. This thing is awesome. This will be printed. I know that Dan kind of put a poll out on his Instagram saying, like, how should I do this barrel? I've got like 5 different ways to do it. And so he finally settled on this one, which is fun because you can move it. It's got a little detailed breech, etc. in there. I hope you guys can see a little bit. I know that live stream quality probably isn't the best, but for the Friday SitRep, I'll make sure to get up close and personal with this thing and show it off in HD. So we will do that. Make sure to put my piece back on there that fell off, or Dan will yell at me. Okay, let's take a look at some of these questions here. So Delvin asks, Huey HD1D restock. Man, if I had a nickel every time somebody asked if we could restock the Huey, I could probably afford to buy my own Huey. So that is one of the kits that we do not currently have a license for, so we will not be bringing it back until we have the license for it. I explained this a little bit last time, but just so you guys know, so having the Bell license, having the Lockheed Martin license, having the AM General, Textron, etc. licenses doesn't instantly grant us access to be able to build everything that they produce. So the way it works is that you sign up and you get to adjust your contract as you move forward with what vehicles you want to produce. And so other things can be under contract for other companies. So the Huey one was not available when we got our Bell license. So there are other things that we can produce from Bell right now, but not the Huey. That kind of goes for quite a few of the I think it was the F-18, a couple of other ones that people have been asking for regularly that I see a lot. We'll do our best to get those when we can, when they're available. We're not holding out by any means. The F-14, I know that's a huge one. We're working on it. We'll get there. They will eventually be back. It's just kind of one of those things where you have to wait with us, and we're playing the waiting game too, trying to do things the right way, and make sure that when we have the go-ahead to produce this stuff, that it comes out in the best form possible. So Vincent asked, will you restock the P-51 Mustang? Same as the Huey. Same situation as the B-17, the Huey, all of that stuff. Scorpion Pit 06 asks, what about Microbrickbattle? So Microbrickbattle.com is in the works. It is going to be launched very, very soon. We're super excited for that to be able to be up and running, because it is going to have a whole bunch of free instructions, scenarios, a forum for you guys to chat about stuff and more, which will be super awesome. So stay tuned for that. It's going to be the real revival of Microbrickbattle, if you will, along with some of the other stuff that we have going on. Here's Nugget again. But so that'll kind of be the situation going forward, at least initially. Hold on a second. Hey. Can't catch a break, can I? Here you go. This is the loud one. This is the one who's been being so loud while you guys were off screen. Here, say hi, people, Nugs. Say hi. Woof. I know this has absolutely nothing to do with Brickmania, but there you go. You get a little show of the dog. So if you hear more barking during this live stream, just remember that we are in the GHQ, so people are coming in and out, and Nugget has to let people know that she's going to be there. So that's the deal with that, dudes. All right, let's do some more questions here, huh? When is the Pershing coming back? I think that is one of those kits that when we have a hole in production, we will be able to fill it with, but because it's got the 3D printed barrel, that's something that we have to wait for there to be time in our 3D print department, which has been just absolutely bananas right now, especially with the LRV and then the LRV restocks, and then the minifigure of the month being the astronaut. We have way more 3D printed stuff going on right now than we could possibly hope to keep up with. So we're doing the best we can on that. So we'll let you know. Will I make anything for the current mock contest, the Fall Berlin Wall? Asks Apple's Gaming. Probably not, because maybe for fun, but probably not to submit. So we'll see. So if you guys know with the current mock contest, I understand that it's kind of more interesting time period, more difficult time period to build for. But that's kind of what we're excited about. We want to see some of the creative angles that people can take with exactly what's going on, a little bit more maybe than just like a dilapidated wall with some people surrounding it. So we'll be looking to see who takes the interesting angles on stuff like that. Our design team and the judges that we have don't always take into it's not always just the size or the detail or the amount of Brickmania vehicles, et cetera, that you have in your mock. A lot of it has to do with the creativity, the use of pieces, the different build techniques. We narrow it down kind of from what looks the coolest stance, and then from what looks the coolest. The design team really digs in, takes closer looks at what people are using, what makes it cool. And so that's what we're definitely going to be doing more so with the Berlin Wall, because the 1945 mock contest was very, very much so open to how many tanks and stuff can we toss into a mock here, which it looks awesome. No denying that, but that doesn't put everybody on the exact same level playing field, which is kind of the situation with Lego. Everybody's got their own collection. Ultimately, we just want to see cool stuff. We want you to be able to build cool stuff, and then we want to showcase that cool stuff. That is what the mock contests are all about, whether it's the store ones that will be running online here or the Brickmania TV one that I run. Either way, that's that is the ultimate goal, is just to be able to build cool stuff. All right, so let's dig into some more questions here a little bit. So LS asks, can you do an M113 restock? Yes. We are going to do one more restock of the M113. We will not be bringing back any add-on packs, but we'll do one. I think it's only going to be slated for one more, but we'll do one more, and that'll be on pre-order in a few weeks. So stay tuned for that. I'm sorry, I can't read your username, but will there be any Vietnam era minifigures soon? Yes, there will be. So not only are we going to try to release some more of those Vietnam Navy SEALs that came with the Swift boat, but we are also hoping to bring out a new Vietnam Grunt for a minifigure of the month coming up here later. Is it August? I'm not even 100% sure. Don't quote me on that, but I think we're going to try to sneak one in here before the end of 2020. So yes, there will be more Vietnam stuff. I know that is an era that we love to build for, but also is kind of hit or miss on whether or not people want to see it. So make sure to keep posting those suggestions. Let us know what you want to see from that era, and we'll be excited to be able to do that. Quick films, come on. We just talked about the Huey. You just join up here. I ran through that whole spiel about all that stuff. Brickmania TV. So Ross asks, is there any plans for a U.S. Coast Guard Jayhawk? I don't know if the Jayhawk helicopter itself is coming back, but I do know we have some plans to either bring back or release some new Coast Guard figs. So be on the look for that. We will have either figures or something along those lines, new or restocked. I'm not 100% sure, but I know I saw it in the project list. So we do have some of that stuff going on, which will be awesome. Modern Navy SEAL minifig planned for this year? No, not planned. Sorry, Steve. It is not planned for this year, but it is definitely something that we will get to in the future. It's hard because I run the Instagram account often along with other people. You guys know Dan, et cetera, is on there. So whenever we get those comments, these questions, when are you going to restock this, or can you guys make this, et cetera, and then we say yes, or someday in the future, or whatever, the follow-up question is always when. And it's like, I'm sorry, guys, we can't give you a set date for every single thing that people ask to, because then we're bound to hundreds of different requests. So sometimes the answer is just going to be, yes, we can build it. We hope to someday. That's all I can tell you right now, because if we try to commit to something and then things change, we don't look so good. And so we want to get to all the stuff that you guys want to see. We want to build everything you guys want to see built. But you just have to bear with us in some of that if you want to follow up your, can you make this, or are these coming back? And then we say yes, and you ask when when is not an answer that we always have ready to go. So we try to do the best we can. I often when you guys ask that stuff on Instagram and here too, in the YouTube comments, I'll scroll through our project list. I'll do my best to try to find you guys an exact date. Hopefully you've seen some of those replies and understand that. But the overwhelming majority of stuff that is either not on the project list or just sort of out in the Brickmania ether, I really just can't give you a straight answer for. So I'm sorry about that. All right, let's take a little closer look at this. Space or sci-fi themes, asks LS. Yeah, so the Lunar Rover, I think, was a kind of a test run along with this minifigure of the month to see what space films, excuse me, what space stuff would people be interested in. Obviously we have the SR-71, which, you know, consider that space or not. So that kind of stuff I think that we'll consider at least going forward more so. You know, initially when we did kind of a big launch of space stuff and it wasn't such a good seller a couple of years ago, it kind of burnt Dan on that. And, you know, we decided to focus on the things that will keep us in business. And, I think now, you know, with some of the technology we have with the 3D printing, et cetera, that allows us to build these interesting things, you will be able to see more of that in the future. Whether we can do it to the scale we want to do it, I don't really know, because, you know, building 1/35th scale space stuff, you're going to get real spendy real fast. So we'll see how some of that works out, but we'll see. Does the Sturm Tiger come with actual rocket? Asks Kazipol. I believe it does. I think that is the plan right now, to at least have one rocket, maybe a couple of rocket tubes. But I think that's kind of what is being at least brickly simulated in here. I don't know if they're loose or what they'll be, but yes, I think it is going to come with some stuff, because it has a super playable interior. As I was kind of showing people who were on here before. Sorry, let me take the lid away. It does have a really nice interior on the inside, lots of opening hatches and stuff. So this will definitely, this is probably another one too that you could even pick up the Tiger crew pack for, because it does have a crew of 5, and you'd be set and ready to go. I think that is available on pre-order or release, one of the two, on Brickmania.com right now. So that would be super legit to look at, because this thing definitely has the room for them. I know it's hard to see. Well, I'll show it off in the SitRep, but it does have like seats and a radio compartment right up in here that look like you could easily fit 2 minifigs into, and then, you know, your commander stepping out your top hatch. It also has a detailed engine compartment, all that kind of stuff, which is awesome. John asks, will you make a DUKW? Maybe, I don't know. It's not on the production list right now. So that's kind of one of those things where, sure, maybe someday, but ultimately I can't give you a square answer on whether or not it's going to be made right now. Labrique Model asks, where is your big store? All of our stores are about the same size, but if you're talking about the GHQ store, that is in Northeast Minneapolis, Minnesota. And then we also have one in Chicago, actually technically Schaumburg. And then we have one in Chantilly, Virginia, which is right outside of Washington, D.C. So those will be the 3 places to check out. So coming July 4th, when we have our 30% off sale, those will be the places to be for Brickmania. Maybe we'll even have a couple of us around. Who knows? I'm not really sure what that weekend looks like. Usually this place is pretty quiet around July 4th here, because everybody's off, you know, grilling and hanging with their families. But we'll see what this one. We'll see what this one looks like. So. So Ethan asked once again, are the Sherman kits coming soon? It all depends on track links. I think we're going to try to have one in before the end of the year. Whether or not that's actually going to happen, we'll see. Believe me, when the track links are even expected to come back, when we have a date, when we know they're going to return, we won't keep quiet about it. We will let you guys know so that you can prepare, which will be awesome. Texas fan asks, will you make a B29? That's a huge kit. It would be an undertaking similar to the AC-130 or B17. So maybe. It's not one that we currently have a license for, not one that we currently have on the production line. You know, it's hard because, like, we want to be able to have enough kits available for everybody of all price ranges. And when we, you know, put something like the AC-130 or the LCAC or whatever into production, you know, that's a pretty hard price point for a lot of people to afford, and it also fills up our production a lot. So we know we have to balance that line. We have to make sure that we're in a situation where we're getting the products out there for everyone to be able to buy. People who've been waiting for a Schwinn wagon are the same people who, you know, have been waiting for the AC, or they aren't the same, but you know what I mean? People wait for the Schwinn wagon like they wait for the AC-130. We want to make sure that everybody gets what they want. So LS asks, what happened to the Mall of America store? Thanks. So that a Mall of America store, we closed because we couldn't fit anything into it. It was just too small. And they wouldn't let us have the space next door. So there was no room for any displays. And with the O'Hare and some of the other mega builds we wanted to make, we're like, we need more room. So we opened the GHQ here as our Minneapolis spot. And then we took the MOA store and moved it to Chantilly. So most of the stuff that was in the inventory there is now in Chantilly. So. Tony Raccoon asks, can you restock the FW 109? Isn't it the Focke-Wulf 190 A8? I want to say is the one we currently have. And yes, we will restock that. But if you're talking about the 109, which maybe is one they've made in the past, no, I don't think so. Crib Crazy asks, would you ever have a store in the UK, as I live there and would love to come? Well, I know there are a lot of people in your boat. I know that that is a very common thing for a lot of people to ask. They want to know if we're able to put stuff overseas. Stuff like this doesn't just pop up overnight. And then especially with COVID and some of the stuff happening around the world, it is a difficult time to be reaching out and expanding overseas. So what we're trying to do is we're trying to keep our relationship strong with our resellers, Neva Brick, Brickisimo, both of them awesome people, fun to sell to, and hopefully they get you guys what you want. I think that is going to be our means for the foreseeable future. Probably here domestically too. I don't see us being able to pull the trigger on anything quick. But when we do start that process, when we're looking for our next brick and mortar location, we'll make sure to let you guys know. I know that overseas is definitely Europe is definitely a place we want to get to, but the difficulty in setting up something internationally versus going to the West Coast, which is another place over here that has wanted to see some Brickmania retail action. Those are a big difference between the two, and so likely we will be heading to the West Coast here in the States first. But don't quote me on that. We'll see how it all goes forward. Who knows how this is going to shake out? 2020 has been a whirlwind, man. Let me tell you. Trying to keep things straight here, and then just in life in general has been trying, to say the least. So Doobie Rush asks, why not make French Foreign Legion minifigs? So like I was saying a little bit earlier, currently on Bricklink and from our other sources, minifig parts in general for anything we want to make are not available in the numbers that we would like to see. So for the foreseeable future, we're going to have to stick to our minifigs of the month and some of our hot sellers. We will try to provide as much variety as possible, but we are not only limited by our own printing capacity, but also what the availability of those pieces are. So that's just a reality of the business that we're in. Nobody's doing anything to the scale that Brickmania is doing currently. So we are the pioneers. We're trailblazing this. We're trying to figure out how it all works. And as we grow, so does our footprint. And so we have to, kind of make that balance and get people what they want. And I think a lot of it too is that, we're trying to finally catch up with the cry forever was, where's the modern stuff? We want modern stuff, et cetera, et cetera. We got the license, we got the modern kits. We're starting to see Humvees, et cetera. And then people want figures to go with them. Of course you do. I would want figures to go with them too. But that means that we have to put those figures then as a priority. And so stuff like, the modern French Foreign Legion, et cetera, things that don't necessarily have a vehicle or anything to go with them, those standalone figures are going to have to be deprioritized because of the situation that we're in. That's not something we necessarily want to do. We want to be able to print everything we could possibly make. Maybe we'll get some there in the future, but right now we're going to have to work on our limited capacity that we have. Winterwolf asks, are you making any American Civil War figures? So we're not actually doing printed figures for the American Civil War, but we have 2 sticker packs. One of them is, I think, generals and officers sticker packs. And then we have 2 infantry packs. So 1 Confederate infantry, 1 Union infantry available. And then I think we have, maybe not online, but we will restock it eventually, one of the cannons, a field gun. From the Civil War. So if you want to make a Civil War mock, especially with some of those blue figures that you pick up from City Sets, etc., those will be available for the foreseeable future. We do the absolute best we can to get ourselves all set up with stickers, etc. I know a lot of people ask for restocks of specific sticker packs. That's another answer that I can't give you of when they will specifically be back in action because we just put stuff into paper print as it runs out. And so they prioritize things like the coloring book that's going on right now. That is doing a lot of good. It's going to a lot of important places. It has definitely been our printing priority recently because it is something that we can do to help people out during these, trying times that are 2020. And so that takes a dent out of things like instruction books, stickers, etc. But we will get to that. You know what I mean? We're not going anywhere and they're not going anywhere either. So we will bring all that kind of stuff back. We can make an F-104 Starfighter, ask Asher. Maybe someday. I think that would be a really cool one to see. Me personally, big fan of it just because it's a cool shape. And I'd hope that it'd be similar to the price point of the MiG, which who doesn't want a jet that you can get for a decent price? It's hard because, you know, you build a F-22 and you put it at 1/35 scale and there's a price tag that comes along with that. So, you know, those little teeny single seat fighters from the Cold War, something that I'd want to see more of too. But once again, all dependent on licensing and then the room we have in our production schedule. So the Texan asks, will you make more instruction books? I think we talked a little bit about this last time, but if not, I will reiterate this. Right now, we just don't have the staff to make new ones. Our design team is super busy. Our production team is packed, and our paper print is working at mass capacity as well. And so when you make a new instruction book, it requires everybody from a lot of departments, marketing, paper print, production, design, to be able to kind of like put what they're currently doing aside to focus on this project. And right now, we just do not have the ability to do that. It's something that we want to do. We have plans for stuff in the pipeline. I know Kursk Bricks has been kicked around a lot. It's something we want to get to eventually in the future, but right now just isn't a reality for our current standpoint. So we'll do our best. And then regarding things like Bricks in the Sand Volume 2, etc., that's a whole new world of licensing when it comes to the instructions of the vehicle, etc., and could bring up some costs that we're not necessarily sure we care to pass on. So we'll figure that out as we move forward, but it is something that we've considered and that we need to make sure we do the right way when we do eventually get to it. So that is the situation currently. So Valeria asks, can you restock the German infantry pack? I'm assuming you're talking about a sticker pack. So that was kind of going with what I'm saying for sticker packs. We put back into the queue as soon as they sell out, and paper print gets to them as soon as they can. That's just the way it works. We'll do our best. All right. Well, will you guys help out Quick Films, etc.? I'm gonna go ahead and jump into my spiel here one more time. So on the week of July 4th, we are going to have a 30% off sale in all of our retail locations. So that is going to be super awesome for those of you who were involved in our New Year's Day sale. You know that it was quite the smash hit, but you'll be able to get 30% off for that weekend. And then with some stackable discounts if you're a plank owner as well. Make sure to check out our blog post for clarification on how all that works. Brickmaniatoys.com. I write to the blog at least 3 times a week. I think Derek writes to the blog a couple of times a week too. So that is if you want to hear it straight from the horse's mouth, that's a good place to get your information from, is our blog. Also, World War Brick this weekend. Obviously, it's not happening for 2020, but this is also the last weekend that you are able to purchase those weekend passes to still receive the exclusive item for 2021. I think it's going to be a minifig. I'm not 100% sure yet, but this will be the last weekend that you can purchase that, and also the last weekend that if you are already a 2021 or 2020 pass holder and you want to get a refund and not come to 2021, this will be the final weekend for you to request that. So make sure to do that. All those details are once again posted online. Check out the World War Brick page. All that stuff will get there. Microbrickbattle.com. So we want to have a site where you guys can talk about Microbrickbattle, where you can check out instructions, where you can read about new scenarios, etc. Whole bunch of content, whole bunch of fun stuff, and we're really excited to launch that. So be on the lookout for Microbrickbattle.com, one-stop shop for all things Microbrickbattle. Whether you're an old pro or someone who's brand new to the system, that is going to be super cool. So make sure to check that out. And then finally, mock contest, the question everybody has been asking recently. So we have our finalists selected, but don't worry if you didn't get an email because we haven't contacted anybody yet. We're going to select our winner and our runner-up. Those will be announced on the SitRep, and then the people who are going to be receiving micro mentions, I think is what we call them. We will be emailing you individually, and then we'll post probably all 10 of our finalists to the Instagram, Facebook, etc., so people can check out the mocks, which they are totally awesome. I'm partial to some of the micro ones that have been submitted. I love it when people do micro builds. Yeah, so that'll cover that. And then finally, we've got this bad boy. I'll put the lid back on so we can show it off. The Sturm Tiger. No, the Sturm Tiger. Look at this beauty. So this will be Friday's pre-order. This is just a prototype, a little sneak peek look at this thing for now. It will come with a minifig, bunch of printed elements, stickers, etc. Nice little simulated suspension there. Super awesome kit, real heavy duty, crazy looking vehicle. Doing some research for the product description on it, learned a lot about how it was. It would have been effective if deployed properly, which, insert German vehicle name here. That's pretty much the story of how it was. So there you go. That'll be Friday's pre-order. We also hope to have, I don't have any to show off to you too, but if you saw in our story, we are going to have the new U.S. Army dress uniforms, a minifigure in all different colors and genders of that available on Friday as well. That won't be a pre-order. That'll just be a straight release. So those will be shipping right away. Make sure to check that out. And then I think we'll have the Mutt back in stock. We've got some Microbrickbattle artillery. Yeah, and we'll see if we can sneak in some more restocks. Otherwise, they'll be out on Monday. So either way. And then Monday, I want to say the Panther is what goes into pre-order. Don't quote me on that yet. Stay tuned for the email and social media, etc. But I will let you know when we know what is going on. So that's my spiel. I've got about 15 more minutes left that I'm going to keep this bad boy running, maybe a little longer if we hold on to a significant amount of viewers. Otherwise, let's answer some questions here. AE Brick Productions asks, I have a question. If a sponsorship with Lego ever happens, will the prices of Brickmania sets be dramatically reduced? But this is never going to happen. That's some seriously wishful thinking. Something that, if we ever had a partnership come happen to in the future, that'd be pretty sweet, because we definitely get access to bricks like never before. But I don't think that's it. They don't think they want anything to do with us, to be totally honest. So we're just going to keep doing our thing and hope that they let us keep doing our thing. So that'll be the situation with that. LaFonzi asks, will you be restocking the Mogadishu Army Rangers? Yes, we will be restocking the Mogadishu Army Rangers because you guys voted to bring them back. So that is the best way that you can see stuff that is currently out of production come back, is when we launch those fan polls. So that will be one of the figures returning. I think we're going to try to get into production in a few weeks, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, something like that. So look for it in July. I'll try to let you guys know via social media, etc., when they've got them on the printer and whatnot. I know that's an exciting one. I know, because we have so much Battle of Mogadishu stuff, from the VAB to the Humvee to the Blackhawk, obviously. That's a good choice, guys. Props to you. I'm glad that one won. Luke asks, so you're restocking the modern U.S. tanker along with the Abrams? We almost always try to keep those two synced. So the situation that might happen is we might have a pre-order for the Abrams out earlier, and then the week that the Abrams is shipping, we'll put up a batch of the tankers, just because we don't pre-order minifigs currently, because the amount available that we're able to get is too volatile. So we don't want to be on the hook for 600 minifigs and only able to get 400 torsos. That would be a bad situation for everyone. So we won't be pre-ordering those, but we hope to have them at least available around the same time. So make sure to check out that. Brick Danger asked about a Panzer 35T. Is it a 34T we did earlier? 35. There's so many dang Panzers. Maybe. I think that the real variance of Panzers is kind of hard to know how much you can actually, if it's worth producing a kit. Can you sell 150 of these things, or is there 20 people out there who really want this specific type of Panzer, and then we commit to a whole batch and it hangs out there because, people want their specific kind of tank. We leave a lot of those modifications up to you guys. So if you want to pick up a Panzer 34T and turn it into a 35T, we love to see those modifications. We share them all the time. That's not something that we consider infringing on our intellectual property whatsoever. We like to see that kind of stuff. So, if you guys want to see some of these kits, pick up something close to it. Pick up a book with some instructions to at least get you part of the way there, and then do the same thing we do. Look at blueprints, look at pictures, work it until you got it, and try to figure out, how to make this thing look the way you want it to. It's a trial and error process, but that's part of the fun. That's what being a Lego builder is constantly refining, constantly changing things until you really get that most ideal shape. Dan and Cody are able to do it in a week. It takes some of us longer than that, but you know, we still do it. It's still fun. We still get there eventually in the end. So that's cool. So Nargan asks, will you be restocking the Hetzer or Martyr? So I know the old Martyr definitely won't be coming back because it was a part of an eBay auction. So anything that goes in the vault or is part of an auction is not coming back. That is the last time you will see it unless it is either voted back via fan poll or gets redesigned. So stuff like Oddball, people ask about that all the time. It's gone. It's done. You know, I'm sorry. That's how the vault works. You know, that's the final straw when you see it in the vault. So that's the situation there on both of those. So we might bring back a redesigned Hetzer or a redesigned Martyr once we have track links, but it will not be the ones that have previously been available. Yes, ask A10 Warthog, question mark. We've made one in the past. It looks awesome. I think that there's a lot of updates that Cody would want to do if he built it, but that's one of those ones that I believe we're still holding on to the license for. So we have to wait till we get it to be able to produce something like that. But remember too that that's also one of those kits that because of the size and detail that are put into the plane and the fact that it's a licensed kit, it's not going to be cheap. So it's tough when you see a lot of people, they want to see all these kits, they want to see these builds happen, and then they're disappointed when the price, shows up. That's what we deal with too. We have to figure out what we want to build, what we can make that is actually affordable, because we are bound to the costs of the Lego bricks, the production costs, the amount of people that we got to keep here to be able to meet these demands. There are a lot of people who, this isn't just a hobby. Their livelihoods are staked on this. We got to make sure that we're treating people right, you guys included. And so that's something that we consider in all that stuff. So. Field Marshal Doom asks, book sticker packs available separately? I think that's a tough one for us because instructions get traded so much. So I think that's something that we would have loved to be able to do earlier and would still like to be able to do maybe in the future. But with the crazy circulation of all those things and other people selling the instructions to make a profit for themselves off of Dan and Cody's, John's, etc's intellectual property, that's a bummer. And so right now it has really tied our hands to not flood the market with those all the decals. I mean, we've tried some aircraft stuff. We try to do stuff that we want so you guys can build your own things, but ultimately we don't want to be part of our own demise. And if putting those things out there makes people just purchase instructions from other people who have already either bought the kit or just ripped the instructions themselves, pretty soon there won't be any instructions left for those people to pirate and pass around because we won't be here. So that's a tough one. I think it's one that Dan has wrestled with a lot because he wants to be able to make that stuff available to you guys. But we've been burnt. And so that hasn't been the situation. Lego Man 33 asks, will there be more World War I stuff? I don't think so. I think we're done with our World War I run. So a bunch of aircraft, some field guns. Oh, wait, no. Char 2C? But there might be a tank coming this fall. Some more stuff like that. I'm not 100% sure, to be totally honest. But there might be. So we'll see. We will see. Kazi Pull asks, can you show off the engine of the Sturm Tiger? I sure can. I don't think I can actually take this whole thing apart because it's a prototype and I don't want to break for Dan. But I'll show you inside the hatch. I'll show you inside the hatch there. So then there is space under here too. So it does have a nice little detailed engine. Look, are you gonna eat that Lego part that just fell on the ground? No, it's ABS. Don't do it. All right, let's get into some more questions here before the end of it all. Yes, Damien. So Damien asks Char 2C. I think that's the one I've seen on the project list, but some of that stuff has moved around too, so I'm not even 100% sure if that's going to be there. But we'll see. No, Luke, we will not be giving away an AC-130, at least from what I know. So Asher asks, when are the track links coming? The track link situation has been ongoing. We're doing our best to know when we're going to bring them back. It's been an ongoing struggle for us and for you guys. So we'll be doing our best to make sure that when we know they're coming back, we will let everyone know. They'll probably initially be back for the kits that we want to produce. And then when we have time to start making up that extra inventory, we will get those back online and available for purchase. So just bear with us. It won't last forever. We will eventually be able to have track links back again. Ostron, you make me laugh, man. I like that. That's pretty funny. Carscape, Carscape asks, ME262 Schwabel restock. Yes, we will bring that one back. I know that's a popular one along with the Focke-Wulf. So a couple of those they will be returning. We will get those back in action. Once again, sign up for our newsletter. You never have to ask about restocks then because they show up right to you. I know it's not the same with the vault, but the newsletter always shows up with enough time for you to be able to get your hands on pre-orders, restocks, etc. And it will have everything included in there. Just click on the image; it'll take you right to the page, and you can get it there. I know a lot of people are like, I got to get to it as fast as I can. Maybe your best route for the vault then is to sit on the site and just click refresh in the mornings. But for the other stuff, the email will be just fine. Joe asked, can you do a Donald Trump minifigure? I don't think we have any interest in a Trump minifigure. Maybe that's more of a Citizen Brick style kind of thing. Sorry, guys, I'm trying to read these as fast as I can. It's kind of coming at me fast here. A Brick asks, would you guys do an international space station set? Maybe micro scale, but full size. That would be huge. That would be huge. Okay, so what I'm seeing here is just a lot of restock questions. So all that stuff, pretty universal answer. Well, we'll get to it when we can, and if it's something that has a license attached to it, we'll let you know when we get that and when we have the ability to produce it. So I appreciate you guys checking in here. I'm going to wrap this thing up here in just a couple of minutes. Because we usually try to do these for about an hour or so, and then we'll end it up. So one more time, let's take a quick look at this beautiful pre-order that's going to be available on Friday. Remember, this is just a prototype. It'll come with the figure, etc. So this is just the beginning of the model, detailed interior, wild looking vehicle, pretty cool little barrel on there. That'll be a printed element, so that'll be fun. I think a couple of more too. I think you'll have a little printing here, etc. Whatever. We'll check out those renders. Be able to show them off tomorrow or Friday. What day is it? Not even sure. And is the Sturm Tiger, crazy looking vehicle. And then remember to mark the 4th of July in your calendars, or at least plan a trip to our Brickmania retail store because we are going to have a 30% off sale for that weekend. So make sure to take advantage of that because it is the biggest sale that we will offer. We only offer them in our retail locations only several times a year. And that is because we like to let our retail stores build up that awesome inventory that kind of is the entire year of Brickmania collections as they move along. And then we launch that sale and people are able to come in and pick up what they want during those times. So that will be the plan there. Remember to take a look for Microbrickbattle.com. That will be out soon. All of your instructions, scenarios, etc., all in one place and all available for access. So that'll be pretty sweet. See if there are any other questions that we want to ask here. Yeah, so Torrin, I'll answer your question. So he asks, is everything safe near the GHQ despite the riots? Yeah, we initially heading into that weekend, we decided to close down early. We closed down our HQ, moved some stuff around just to prepare. But we were fine. We were good. So all is well here at the GHQ, and we are doing well. Happy to be back and operating. Stuff is shipping per normal. We've got our social distancing down. You guys have probably noticed from the designers' desks. We have to do things a little differently. There's a lot of face masks in the hallways, but we're getting it figured out, and we're happy to be part of the solution instead of the problem. So we're glad to be on the right side of things. Brick Danger asked, Brickmania phone case. Well, we'll see. We have pretty much everything with Brickmania on it, right? I know our swag category is awesome. I love that stuff. I like to get my hands on it all. I know the Zippo lighters are another one that everybody's like, bring them back. I'm like, I know, we'll try. It's not like we're trying to keep it from anybody. That's never our game. We're never trying to withhold stuff. So. All right, guys, I think that's about going to do it for me here. Thank you so much for joining in for another live SitRep. Make sure to leave a comment. Let me know if you guys want to do this again next week. It looks like we had a pretty good response to this one. And so hopefully we'll get some more questions answered, asked. Maybe we'll have another spontaneous check-in from Lando like we did this time, or whoever we're able to get back on here. And then eventually maybe we'll get some split streams going, get some more talking heads up here instead of just me sitting around answering your questions. But thanks for joining, and we will see you next time.